Cards Against Humanity is a party game created with the idea to ease interaction and entertainment in social activities in a casual way. Particularized by its political incorrectness approach, Cards Against Humanity has become a reference for pop culture and new board games in the last few years. Today, let's talk about the game itself, how creators reach the product success, their weird merchandising techniques, the influence of the game in society, and a quick tutorial on how to play the game. The game is about completing blank spaces of non-offensive statements, also standard questions, using words considered impolite or politically incorrect. All of those printed on playing cards. The resulting combinations can sound as crazy as hell, to say the least. For example, there's a statement that says, instead of coal, Santa now gives the bad children, and a blank space. Then a card saying, use panties can complete the sentence. So you have a sentence saying this, or you can combine this card randomly with this one, so you can create a statement saying, alternative medicine is now embracing the curative powers of Sniffing Glue. I wish this one lasts as a joke forever. So now you get the idea of the game approach. In this video, I decided to use soft combinations to avoid unnecessary hateful comments or a possible YouTube ban, but the incorrectness can go too far. I mean, there's a statement which says, and the Academy Award for blank space goes to, and another blank space. Then there are cards saying Ronald Reagan and others saying not wearing pants. A group of 20-something college students in Illinois were the people who created this game under the name Schadenfreude, a play of words with Schadenfreude, a German word that means joy and pleasure you feel when you witness the failures or bad experiences of others. Then the creators renamed the game a pun on crimes against humanity, reflecting the approach of the game. They got the inspiration from a party game developed by Hasbro in the 90s, Apples vs. Apples, rated for general audiences. After the creation comes the production and commercialization, but how is it possible to put a game like this in a store's shelves? How can they fund the production? It could be risky for big companies to place this game next to family-friendly party games. Parents can get confused. How can an end user get this product? Well, it's just a matter of math. Crowdfunding for the money plus internet for commercialization. Kickstarter. In 2010, the creators released a crowdfunding campaign with a goal of $4,000 in 2 weeks, and they got $15,000 in 2 months. The pledges included digital and physical copies of the game and 16 customized cards for the most significant fee. In May 2011, the game was released on Amazon.com, earning $12 million profit in the first 2 years. At the same time, the free PDF version has been downloaded 1.5 million times from their website. You still can purchase the game from its official website for $27.91, the main deck, and game expansions for $22 to $24. The creators have also developed unique expansions centered on jokes of some specific geographical areas. So the British edition has British-related jokes. Same with the Australian and the Canadian version. There are some theme-based expansion versions of the game, one with jokes related to Netflix's show House of Cards, another with the 90s pop culture and its nostalgia, and one related to the Mass Effect video game. It is fair to say that the creators have taken the merchandising strategies of the product as a matter of fun sometimes, following the game's sense of humor, mostly on Black Fridays. In the 2013 Black Friday, they raised the cost of the game by $5 instead of making a discount, and despite that, they maintained the sales rate during that day. In the 2014 Black Friday, they replaced all their online stores and all the products for one single product called Bullshit. That new product consisted of a sterilized bull poo. Each one of them sold for $6, and 30,000 of them were sold that day, earning a profit of $180,000 just from bull feces. Next year, they developed a campaign called Give Cards Against Humanity $5, where any person could give the $5 to the company in exchange for nothing. They published an FAQ about the campaign, justifying the campaign, saying that they want to offer a superior Black Friday experience. From that campaign, the company earned $71,145, and one single fan gave them $100. Weeks later, they announced that the earnings were donated to charity, also saying that from the last 3 years, they've fundraised more than $4 million to different charity organizations. In 2016, the creators live-streamed themselves while they were digging a hole in Oregon, saying that they wouldn't stop digging as long as they continued to get donations. $100,573 were collected for charity. Weeks later, they filled up back and reseeded the hole. In 2017, they simulated a brand called Original Prongles, an obvious parody to the chips brand Pringles, under the slogan, "Once you poop, that's great," with a pig as a mascot, clearly inspired by Donald Trump. Later, they confirmed that on an interview, promised to make America crunch again. The product was effectively in sale during that day, featuring 2 flavors. During that day, the company's website redirected to a new one called originalprongles.com, where they announced that they've retired from the party games industry to conquer the snack food industry. The site is full of subtle references to Trump's campaign for US presidency. Last year, they sold random items like used cards, diamonds, TVs, and cash money with 99% off. The creators proclaimed that the promotion was real and probably a very bad idea. The creators have also involved their dark humor sense for political issues, most of them about the Trump administration and the 2016 US presidential election. They've also developed some activism campaigns with their followers. All of this started in 2016 when they released two 15-card expansion packs called Vote for Hillary Pack and Vote for Donald Trump Pack. All the cards have political related jokes, and all the earnings were donated to Hillary Clinton's campaign. Also, they created a political action committee called the Nuisance Committee, and they began to post billboards along Chicago and Orlando, all of them attacking the Trump administration and other Republican Party members. 2 years ago, they developed a campaign called Cards Against Humanity Saves America, intending to finance the purchase of a vacant land along the US border with Mexico, in a specific area where Trump was planning to build the wall, with the idea that Trump could never build his wall. They ended up purchasing the piece of land, also hiring a law firm specialized in land domains to make it almost impossible for the government to get that piece of land purchased. Then the company decided, believe it or not, to redistribute the money earned during the campaign, giving $1,000 checks to 100 needed people, justifying the decision on the fact that the 8th wealthiest people in the world have the same money together as the poorest half of the world population. Moreover, in 2018 they released a bag called Trump Survival Kit. It consisted of a kind of United States apocalypse survival kit, which includes seeds and currency of Latin American countries. In the same line, they've developed more special expansion editions related to political issues, like the Weed Pack, where the earnings go to the Marijuana Policy Protection Organization. The profits of another expansion versions go to the World Builders charity movement, Wikimedia Foundation, and so on. The company's marketing campaigns, same as their political activism, are creative and irrelevant. They don't invest money on mainstream advertising and try to make giveaways to their fans on the holidays. During 3 years, they developed a campaign called 10 Days or Whatever in Kwanzaa for the Hanukkah time. The activity consisted that for each day in Hanukkah, they mailed a gift to every participant, like a pair of socks or a web subscription. But in the last day, they announced the purchase of a Picasso piece of art and made a poll about what they should do with the print. 2 options: donate the piece to the Art Institute of Chicago, or chop the artistic work into 250,000 pieces and mail it to every activity participant. After a week of voting, the voters decided to donate the piece of art to the museum. Thank God. In 2014, they gave away 1 square foot of private island in Maine to the people who participated in the campaign that year. You see? Irreverent. The game is available under a Creative Commons license. It means that any person can use, share, and remix the game, but if someone sells or gets revenue from any activity related to the game, then the creators can sue him. In the last years, some party and board games developed have used this product as a reference for new games, like What Do You Meme? Similar to Cards Against Humanity, but instead of cards with statement in a blank space, you have a meme without text. Then you can use the cards with sentences to describe what the meme is about. The funniest combination wins. Another one is called Deadpool vs. the World. Party game based on the political incorrectness of the Marvel character. There are some cards with illustrations of him with his poses and stuff, which are very useful in this game. A Potterhead craft community developed a game called Cards Against Muggles, in addition with the original version, but here you can build phrases like acceptable pets on Hogwarts include cats, owls, and the basilisk in my pants. In 2014, 2 guys in Chicago opened a theater company about a sketch and improvisational comedy. One of their shows was called Comedy Against Humanity, which evaluates the Creative Commons license of Cards Against Humanity. The theater company ended up canceling the show after legal concerns with the party game creators. Now let me explain to you how to play this game. There's you with, let's say, 3 more friends, in case you have friends to play with. So after unboxing, you will find a deck of white cards and another one with black cards. Each black card has a question or a sentence with a blank space at the end, and each white card has a gerund or a noun written on it, with the idea to complete the empty space on any black card. So every player takes 10 white cards, the ones with the gerund or the noun, and one of the players takes a black card and reads it aloud. That player is called the card czar. The game manual says that the first card czar of the game is the last person who pooped before starting. Then the rest of the players choose between their 10 deck card for a noun or gerund that can fit in the black card phrase and make it the most funny. Face that card down and give it to the card czar. Then the card czar shuffles the answers, then reads all the combinations with the group. The card star chooses the funniest play, and then player who submitted the chosen card gets the point. Then another player becomes the card star, and the rest of the players draw back the used cards from the white card deck, and the game continues. Of course, the player with the most points wins the game. And it stops when the players are ready to stop, but there's a distinctive card called the Make a Haiku card, which has to be shown as a symbolic protocol that ends the game. There are some black cards with 2 black spaces. In that case, the players have to use 2 cards from their hands. The game manual suggests some ways to identify the rules of the game, from creating an imaginary player to combining the game with the Never Have I Ever game. All of these ideas are in the game manual. But anyway, there is not any international Cards Against Humanity federation which can sanction you from creating your own way to enjoy the game. So feel free to use your imagination, try not to take ideas from the cards. The results can be disgusting. Do you know about a non-disgusting and great idea? Subscribe to this channel. It is free, rated for general audiences, so please do it. I will strongly appreciate your support, your like, and your comments. That's all for today. Stay fresh.